What is property? This video offers a philosophical lens on the concept of property. Let's start with owning property. The definition of owning property has to do with either a legal or a social recognition of somebody or some organization's right to property. To do what with that property? Basically anything. To use property or not use the property, to sell it, to lend it, or to exclude others from even accessing that property. So to own property means that you have a lot of power. But what is property itself? Take just these kinds of examples of property and we'll see how difficult it is to define property. Take intellectual property. This is just an idea and somebody can own it. You can even get a patent on ideas and then there's a legal claim and someone would need to pay you to use your idea in act. So to own an idea, okay, how exactly would that work? What about a car? Here's another thing about the car. You can own a car and pay property tax on the car even if you have loaned the car. A car and land and a house and some kinds of equipments are examples of property that you still pay taxes to the government for. So we can ask the question what property even means and what it would mean to own property or to have property. Here, I think, is a common but problematic definition of property itself. A claim over resources or a claim over a product, a claim over a good. But that definition includes this idea of somebody owning it or controlling it or having the power over it. What is property itself? Take this other definition easily found on the internet and textbooks. The definition of property is an asset that someone can own, not necessarily that they do own. And so if you have a pen, that pen can become somebody's pen and then they can use it to write. They'd be controlling it. Still, that ownership is built in. A philosophical question about the concept of property is whether it needs to have embedded in the definition the idea of ownership. If you think about personal property like a shirt or a car, if you think about real property like a house, or if you think about intellectual property like an idea, is there a way to have us talk about those things, the goods, without thinking about them as somebody's? The answer comes down to what kind of background framework you have. For example, a socialistic framework versus a capitalistic framework would look at property very differently.